Welcome to Rolling Ratchet. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. They call me Nizzy Nice. So let's talk about the biggest, the most watched Super Bowl halftime performance in history. That's right. K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar. He had 133 million viewers, setting a new record. But I want to talk about what no one else is talking about. The Super Bowl budget for Kendrick Lamar was $15 million. Let me tell you why Kendrick Lamar is a genius. He is a genius because he basically got the NFL to pay him $15 million to put on a protest, because that's exactly what it was. And I'm looking at the reviews online. A lot of black people, I'm a little shocked at y'all. A lot of black people saying, oh, the performance is trash. They didn't like it. They didn't get it. And then I had to think, I said, well, maybe it's the younger generation. So when Kendrick Lamar said something like, talking about 40 acres and a mule, I said maybe the younger generation, they didn't know what that was. So let me break that down for you. When Kendrick Lamar was talking about 40 acres and a mule, basically when the slaves were freed, they were promised 40 acres and a mule. 40 acres of land and a mule to plow the field, right? You know what I'm saying? To grow things on a farm. That never happened. The government reneged. So that's basically what Kendrick Lamar was talking about. Now, as far as white people not liking it and not getting it, I understand it wasn't for y'all. But I'm equally as shocked at some of the white people who came to Kendrick Lamar's defense, saying to other white people, if you didn't get it, then it wasn't meant for you, or you just didn't want to get it. And I kind of feel that way about black people too. If you didn't get it, then it just wasn't for you. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about, oh, that wasn't a time and a place to put on a protest. Let me ask you this. When is the perfect time and place to put on a protest? There is none. You have to do it when you got the most attention and the most eyeballs on you. So why not do it halftime of a Super Bowl? I thought that was genius. And let's not act like this is the first time someone has used a sports platform to protest. The first time it happened was in 1967, when the government basically, they stripped Muhammad Ali of all his boxing belts because he refused to enter the military draft. What happened? You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, and a bunch of other brothers. They all came to Cleveland in his defense. It was a protest. And let me tell you something. Whenever you protest, you risk losing something. I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, how come more athletes and entertainers don't speak up for social injustice? It's because they're worried about losing their endorsements. Think about this. Some of these athletes, entertainers, they take care of their wife, their kids, their mama, baby mama, brothers, nieces, nephews. They taking care of so many people. A lot of them feel like they can't afford to speak up, right? And piss off the man and lose any of their endorsements. Are they wrong? I mean, at the end of the day, they all take care of their family. So I get it. And that's not the last time somebody spoke up for injustice on a sports platform. It also happened in 1968. And this was at I believe the Olympics, took place in Mexico City. You had Tommy Lee and John Carlos, right? They won the 200-meter race, gold and bronze. Instead of them taking a podium with a big white smile, you know what I'm saying, for the cameras, what did they do? Look at this picture. They held their heads down. They had on a black glove and they raised their fists, and they paid for it. They lost endorsements. Anybody that was doing business wanted nothing to do with them, and they was getting death threats. So like I said, whenever you protest, you are risking losing something. So when people do protest who have something to lose, I think they need to be commended for it. Now, one thing I love about white people, I love when white people tell the truth. So let's listen to white people tell the truth about Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance.
White woman boomer here, wanting to chime in on the incredible, genius performance yesterday during the halftime. I have never been more proud of our youth, our black community, than I was yesterday. What we're witnessing is more oppression, suppression, and a takeover of human life. The fact that they censored the halftime show with their 5-second delay, the fact that we didn't get to see the flag being raised, the fact of the kickback and pushback and arrogance and disgusting opinions from especially my generation, who freaking created this shit, I call it like I see it. And I have a daughter, and she's not going to grow up in this world that this regime wants us to live within. So to all of my black brothers and sisters, to all my brothers and sisters of all races, gender, LGBTQ, this white woman is so sick. I've spent my entire life fighting for us all. And to see this young man and his message and his talent lift up and awaken us all, and the vile crap that I'm watching, I won't be silent.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Now let's listen to some more fine white folk.
Last night, the NFL gave us unquestionably the worst halftime show we have ever seen.
You guys see this news anchor, Rob Schmidt, who said that the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show was the worst one ever? Rob, you're aging yourself. What, you don't remember the 1991 Super Bowl halftime show featuring the New Kids on the Block? Oh, baby. That was terrible. No, it feels like this is about something else, Rob. What could it be?
A tiny rapper in bell-bottoms who 98% of the country has never heard of.
What's the matter with bell-bottoms? Lainey Wilson wears bell-bottoms. Are you mocking her? And the fact that you've never heard of him, I mean, the Grammy folks have heard of him because he's won 22 of those. The Emmy folks have heard of him because he's won an Emmy too. And in fact, the Pulitzer Prize folks have heard of him because he's won a Pulitzer Prize as well. What have you won, Rob? No, it feels like this is really about something else.
Was allowed to play most of his largely unknown catalog for 20 grueling minutes in front of the entire world.
It was actually just 13 minutes, but maybe you were told there'd be no math. Rob, what are you getting at?
The whole world just sat and wondered why they were watching this. Who is this? Everybody asked.
Maybe the world's greatest tennis player ever, Serena Williams, knew when she danced up there on stage with him. The Grammy people knew when they gave him 7 awards just a week or so ago. No, Rob, this feels like it's about something else.
No matter where you were, nobody had a clue what this was, except maybe 0.5% of the people in this country alone.
I mean, he sold 18 million albums. Several have gone platinum, 5 number ones. And in fact, streams of Not Like Us are up about 430% since the Super Bowl. Rob, what's your real issue?
And for a league so obsessed with diversity as the NFL is, maybe you noticed last night's halftime show was the first ever that we can recall that was fully monochromatic as far as race.
Have you seen some of the halftime shows from Super Bowls past? I mean, they were plenty monochromatic, but there's got to be some reason why you didn't notice back then. You know what, though? I get it. It's 2025. You'd like some representation in your Super Bowl halftime show. It sounds like what you really want is some diversity, equity, and inclusion when it comes to those performances, right?
In true woke fashion, this was done with no apologies whatsoever.
You keep saying woke. I don't think that word means what you think it means, Rob. In fact, the way you keep using it, I think you mean black.
Sir, we appreciate you. But like always, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. They call me Nizzy Nice, and we rolling ratchet.